Oh.
Dude, I got bit. She bit off my skin. I can take my son and my daughter to the games, and they can grow up watching Hickory FC now. We have a club, a hometown club that I can do that with. Maybe one day my son, my daughter, they say, you know what? I remember when my dad took me. Now I can take my kids. That's what it means to me. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And one thing I told my mom the other day when we were talking about it was, listen, I either wouldn't have my family, potentially it would be somewhere else, or I'd be dead.
What's up, guys? Lift and Love. Lift and Love here. Where did you pull this question from? Why is that? Lift Love, crochet, we out. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Lifting Love podcast. You are awesome. Before we start the episode, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Lake Hickory Pub Marina, where lake and life meet. Thank you so much for allowing us to film our episodes here. More on them in the description below. Make sure you go check them out. All their social media links will be there. Today's guest, he's a content creator, social media megastar. Quite possibly the famous person that we've ever had. I will tell you, he's the only person we've ever had to commentate a Hickory FC playoff game that we've had on our podcast. He is the megastar, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, founder of From the Roots Up, co-host of From the Roots Up podcast. It's Mr. Gavin Miller. How are you, my friend?
I'm wonderful. I appreciate the intro.
With the little applause
Yeah.
there. Listen, man, you're a content creator. You're a social media megastar.
I don't know about that. Now, content creator, maybe, but megastar, definitely not. Definitely
much.
not. You feed my ego. Yeah.
Hold up. Shh. The head's just getting bigger.
No, not at all.
Dude, well, first off, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I appreciate your friendship and all the stuff we've doing together. I don't know if anyone doesn't know, but I help produce the From the Roots Up podcast, the podcast you and Max co-host, and you guys do such a great job. So figured this would be a platform to talk a little bit more about it, but
Definitely.
more importantly, talk a little bit about you. I feel like, people hear the voice, go, and, they see the content, but I don't know if they know the person, Gavin. So for the people watching who might not know you, who are you and what do you do?
Oh, man. That's a loaded question. That's a hard question to answer whenever you ask, because you always want to talk about work, because that's like who we base who we are off. But man, who is Gavin Miller? That's a good question. Man, I would probably say a father, husband. We just had another, our second child over the summer. Which Eric called me the worst father in the world since I showed up to the app game the day we had our daughter.
Now, listen, if that's not dedication,
hey, man,
I don't know what is, okay?
Hey, Hickory FC for life.
Bro, I literally got a tattoo of Hickory FC.
Yeah, I would show you, but anyway. You can see it on Hickory FC's Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, man, father, husband, just... I don't know, man. That's an interesting question.
It's like when you get interviewed at a job and it's like, so, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
And you're just...
Yeah, I mean, husband, father, provider.
Hickory FC mega
Hickory
fan.
FC super fan, ultra fan. Yeah.
I mean, to be a fan, to commentary a game has got to be... I know, like, if the Lakers called me up and was like, yo, we're down a person, we need help. Come over here, and I would be like, me? That's exactly what that exact interaction would be like. Yeah, I'm there. I don't care how long the flight is. I'm taking layovers. We're there, California, baby.
Well, I tell you, whenever Eric introduced the opportunity to me, at first I was a little nervous because, man, I've never done it before, and you hear, when people do it in games, you're like, man, I'd love to do that. That's so easy. Yeah. Yeah, right. Dude, man, immediately I was like, well, because I think Jonathan had a guy that could do the play-by-play, and I was like, man, I would much rather be the color commentary, the guy that's yelling and the loud, obnoxious dude, which I am.
Go! oh, you're loud when the audio just, instead of trying to keep up with how loud you are, just goes, it just flattens, right? It's like you're breaking the speakers. I love it.
Well, we did have some amazing opportunities this year in the playoffs to be able to do that.
It was incredible.
which I'm thankful for. But
it was so funny. And real quick, I mean, that moment in itself, we're going to talk a lot about Hickory FC and all this stuff, but like that moment in itself is really like a capsule in time. Because in the commentary, you got, he's literally describing what penalty kicks are. Like he's literally explaining, like, okay, if overtime doesn't, if it doesn't, no one scores, we're going to overtime. This is what's going to happen. But there's the potential it doesn't.
Yep.
Such an iconic moment,
If and I understand this is the NPSL, but man, it's definitely one of those. I was there, or I remember. I was there when that happened. I saw that live. It's like watching, I guess, Shohei's game the other night, like striking out 10 batters, hitting 3 home runs, like. It's a where were you moment when that happened, because, and I know we talked about in the episode with Tommy, like we don't know what happens if they go to penalties. The story might have stopped there, but dude, it gives me chills right now thinking about it, dude. Like, man, it was such an insane moment, and I know we'll get there, but
yeah, I was literally on the baseline, and I'm telling my friend, I said, dude, it's going to go to penalty kicks. Like, if you have to go, I totally understand. He said, no, bro, this is ending right now. 30-second. When they first were talking about it as they're going down the field the other way, and then all of a sudden, he's like, nah, bro, they got this. And he starts standing up, and he's, like, hunched over. He's like, we're doing this now. Because, I mean, the clock is winding. There's, like, a minute left at this point, minute and a half left. And all this happened. It was crazy. But, yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway. What do you do day to day? Obviously, you got from the roots up, but your career. What do you do for the people who don't know?
Career. I wish I had a career. No, what I do is I'm a contractor for Corning, which is
awesome.
If nobody knows, they're a local fiber optic cable manufacturer. So luckily, I still work from home, which I'm so thankful to be able to do.
Yeah.
So. That's the easiest answer to give you, because it's some engineering, some data entry, some problem solving. It's like a whole bunch of issues wrapped all in one job. But the easiest way is just a contractor for Corning.
That's awesome. And engineering. And so you're a smart guy. Engineering,
I wouldn't say that. I mean, hell, the other day I was talking about my nipples pierced. So I'm not that smart.
So, I mean, where does that background, did you always want to be an engineer? Like, bring us your back, high school, college, like, what is that looking like? What was Gavin, let me ask you this. What was Gavin Miller thinking about in high school and college, besides getting his nipple pierced?
Can I say? I don't, is this PG or like, are we, what are we doing here? Nah, man, so, I really didn't, I wasn't going anywhere in high school. I actually got in trouble in high school. I squirted pee on my band director and got kicked out of band. So, I was a delinquent, really. And I wasn't, man, I had no, aspirations. No, I wasn't going anywhere. I was working at Babbage's at the time, which is what GameStop, before GameStop bought everybody. So, dude, I was, heavily into the video game thing. And really wasn't still living, obviously, at home. I went to Western Carolina with a girl I was dating at the time, which is the one who I pierced my nipples for.
A little shadowing didn't work out.
Didn't work out, no. That relationship ended because she was going upward, and I was kind of either staying on a plateau or wasn't going anywhere. So that ended. I came back to Hickory, joined the National Guard. That didn't work out either.
Whoa.
So,
the face you made. So I've learned a little bit about you. You make faces when there's a story. What's that story?
Man. Essentially, so I joined. Then, it was about a year that I was supposed to ship out to basic training. And when I went to Raleigh, because I had some issues with my feet, that had to be looked at. So I had to go to Raleigh to the processing station. Got through that. The staff sergeant that took me told me to answer no to everything they ask you.
And just anyone watching, if anyone ever does that, just know that they're a scam. They're a complete scam. Say no to everything. Your life depends on it, but continue.
Yeah, so say no so you can just get through. There's no questions or anything like that. So I did that. Started drilling. I think I was supposed to leave. That was in the summer of like 08, I think. And I was supposed to leave in like January, February, March, somewhere around there the next year. And 2 weeks before I was supposed to ship out to basic, I had to go back to Raleigh to do the same information again because my job required a top secret clearance. So the staff sergeant that took me didn't remind me, hey, answer no to everything. So there's one question in particular, which I'm not going to say what it was, that I answered yes to instead of no. Man, that opened up a whole can of worms of getting stuff checked and like making sure I was fine, and like it was a mental health thing. They ended up saying that I wasn't okay, so they discharged me. Man, dude, at the time, and I'm thankful. Me and my mom were talking about this the other day. I'm thankful that it didn't work out because I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have my 2 children, more than likely. So I'm glad it didn't work out. But at the time, dude, I had everything planned out. Man, I was gonna serve. Our unit had gotten mobilized to, like, as soon as we got back from AIT school, we were going straight to Afghanistan. So, like, was going to be going over there. My job was like an intel job. So, hopefully, I wouldn't have had to, like, run and gun, all that stuff. But, so we were going to be going there. And then, dude, I was going to go to school, go to the FBI for, like, cybercrime stuff. Dude, I had it all planned out. And then it just, like...
Can we just, like... These moments and stories like this are reasons in my life, and I hope for other people watching, like, they reflect. Everything that happens or doesn't happen for you can change literally the course of your life. There is a single decision that I've made in my life that if I didn't make, I wouldn't be here today, let alone 15 decisions, right? So, like, everything happens for a reason. I mean, could you imagine... Let me ask you this. Could you imagine your life right now without your wife and kids?
No.
So imagine if that happened and now you don't have the one thing you love and cherish the most.
Well, and then the one thing I told my mom the other day when we were talking about it was, listen, I either wouldn't have my family, potentially it would be somewhere else, or I'd be dead because there's a possibility I might not have come back. So there was a reason that I answered yes to that question. 100%. And it opened up everything else that they were checking on and so on and so forth. So,
and people always say, like, oh, well, this job's not in the area. I mean, honestly, in Afghanistan, everybody was on limits. It didn't matter if you were in the front lines or if you were back at base and, collecting intel or doing whatever you're doing. Like everywhere was under attack. It's not like they're like, okay, so guys, we're going to come here, but that little camp right there where they got the tents, you don't bomb that. That is not what you bomb. Everything else around it, though, fair game. Yeah. No, it's war. Like, people are fighting each other. Stuff happens. Yeah. Like, who knows? It's crazy. Did you spend much time thinking of it at the time? That's what I'm more interested in because, obviously now you have the perspective of, I had a family, I have kids, I'm doing all this stuff with From the Roots Up. Like, I'm so grateful. But, like, at the time, you were pissed.
Dude, at the time I was pissed. Yeah, absolutely. Because, dude, I had everything squared away. I was ready to do it. At the time, there wasn't anything holding me here. I wasn't dating anybody. I think I had already either quit where I was working. I would have had to because I was planning on leaving.
Dude, so you literally jumped both feet in. Like, you were ready.
Yeah.
That's
100%. Yeah.
And what are the chances that they call you back a second time? Like, did anybody else get called back a second time, or as far as you know, you're the only one?
Well, so I think and I could be wrong, and somebody could comment, on what it is now, but I'm fairly certain if you have a secret clearance or a top secret clearance, you have to go back a second. I mean, I think everybody, unless you're shipping out the day you go to MEPS, like, I would assume you have to go back anyway.
Interesting.
But having a top secret clearance, I had to do the same packet of information I did.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
They're just like, hey, we just want to make sure this guy isn't going to be a spy or something, and we got him. No.
So, at the time, I was pissed because for some reason, it was so weird. for some reason I started seeing documentaries of how the military would recruit known gang members, and then gang members would join the military, learn military tactics, and then leave, and then take that back to the gang. So I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I mean, low key, not a bad plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
but
saying.
like, hold up, you're gonna let these folks in, but because I answered yes to a mental health thing, you're like, nah, he's not. Nah, we're not gonna take him.
Yeah, I feel like, and also, I mean, what year is this?
08, 09?
The stigma behind
06,
the
07?
stigma behind mental health back then. I mean, depression, anxiety, PTSD. Those weren't things back then. They're things now. And there's resources, there's therapy, there's so many different things. And,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's what? That's 15 years
Good
ago,
Lord,
16 years
almost
ago?
20, yeah.
Almost 20.
Yeah.
Like, how much has changed since then? And, like, I mean, even, like, when I was a kid, it was like, boys don't cry. Why are you upset? It's like all that stuff. But nowadays, it's like, it's okay to have feelings. You can feel, emotions. Like, you can feel that. And, like, I feel like it's so funny, like, when you look back and it's like, man, for one mental health thing, because nowadays we don't even think about it like that, right? Like, yes, mental health is important, but it's not like stigmatized, like, oh, you're anxious, you're depressed, you're whatever, like, oh gosh, you're not looked at like a witch, you know what I'm saying? Like you're actually still a human being. So what happened after that? I'm curious what that road looked like. How long did it take you to kind of get right mentally to be like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. Here's my change. Wait, what change of course happened? Like, what did you end up pursuing next?
Man, where did I work? I mean, I just went into working. That's all I did. Like, there wasn't really anything necessarily after that. Just like trying to find a job, and I think that's when I started working at. No, that's after Walmart. So I quit. I left Walmart because I was doing loss prevention there, and I left there.
Oh, what a fun job!
And
can we talk about that for a second,
bro? That was so much fun,
dude. Wait, were you like plain clothes walking around catching people stealing?
Yeah, dude.
Tell me that's like the coolest job.
Look at this right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, dude. At Hickory, the Hickory store when I was training.
Oh my! It's like a bump, yeah. Oh,
dude, I got bit. She bit off my skin. Yeah.
Dude, and how long ago was this?
It was when I was training, probably like 07-ish.
Dude, you're telling me that almost 20 years later, you still have a fucking scab?
Yeah, because she took the skin off my arm, like legit. Like
you had to go get like rabies tested and everything.
Not rabies, but I had to go to the hospital and get whatever is it TB or whatever it is? Tetanus. Yeah. I had to do that. Yeah.
Okay, besides getting bit though, fun job.
Bro, it was so much fun, man, because like you could, I mean, yeah, you had to work, your scheduled time, whatever it was, but like you go in, just start walking the floor, plain clothes, like nobody knows who you are, and just try to find, because Walmart's policy at that time was, and I know there's places that use cameras and have like joysticks and all that and can like zoom in and all that stuff to find. Dude, their policy was you have to see them select it, you got to see them conceal it, and they got to walk past the electronic stuff at the door.
Then it was fair game. John Cena!
Bro, dude, I mean, the girl that bit me, hell yeah, it was.
You like tackled her?
Bro, we had 3 of us. 3 dudes. Yeah.
Bro, okay, first off, is this girl like a wrestling champion? Like
She could be.
Oh,
could have been.
Don't tell me it's like a 5'9".
Dude, I know that I've got weight on me.
Oh, she was, damn!
That's why I took 3 of us, man. And looking back on it, I'm laughing. I'm like, man, I should have just been like, man, go on with it. I don't care. Like,
that's what they do now.
Yeah.
They literally have to, they just watch you go and they go, 911, what's your emergency? Someone's stealing. Can you stop them? Policy says I can't. Like, you literally could just walk. Like, I was talking to one of the associates, and they had some guy come in and took like 6 TVs. And he just walked out, and they literally couldn't do anything. I saw some homeboy get arrested last night at Best Buy. No, not Best Buy. What's the one next to it? Old Navy.
Yeah.
He was stealing, like, hardware tools. I'm like, Jesus. Like, bro, like...
And maybe that's why they do that now, is because People have gotten into fights. I'm sure people have gotten killed, maybe.
100%.
People have gotten, like, stabbed, maybe. I don't know. And I'm sure that's why they're like, man, we don't need the lawsuits for this crap anymore. Like, just let them go with it.
They're just like, yeah, so he's wearing a blue shirt, driving a black car. Yeah, he's got the TVs.
Dude, I remember the funniest one I had was probably, I think it was, because I started in Conover when they were building that one, but I started in electronics. And when I went to loss prevention was when I moved up here to Granite when it was opening. And the funniest one I had was, I think there was a young couple and maybe a sister or something like that. But they were, I can't remember what they were, like batteries, a lot of batteries or something like that. But anyway, I was following them. They were on the back side of the grocery, walking up that aisle. And I was
Real
like,
quick,
walking
did you guys
up.
have like shopping carts that you were walking with?
No.
Oh, that would see. I feel like I'm a good detective, and that would trigger me if I'm a criminal. I'm not a criminal. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like at least like walk around with shopping carts, have some stuff in there. You don't think that would be less suspicious?
I mean,
Looking back,
maybe. But maybe. But I don't know, if I am a legit customer, like I'm not paying attention to what people are carrying with them. Like I'm not paying attention to
I'm so aware of my surroundings.
Maybe now I am. Maybe now I would be.
Ridiculous.
Maybe now I am just given.
Life.
Yeah, that you got to have your, and that's what I tell my wife all the time, dude. Have your head on a swivel, especially if you got the kids with you and you're at Walmart or something. You got to be looking around at everything. You got to know where you're at. You got to know where the doors are at. Like you got to know who's around you. You know, like
Yeah.
But at the
anyway,
time,
they're looking for batteries.
yeah, and I think I had followed them into the kids baby section, and I lost them. I was like, where are they at? Dude, I turn around from the baby section, which is all the way at like the back of the store, and I see them leaving. Dude, I take off running.
Well,
Dude, I watched it on the cameras too.
What were you looking at weight wise back then?
Not fat like I am now.
Oh, stop! You're not even fat.
I
bro.
was fat then, but not this fat. I wasn't like, I weighed 280. I definitely wasn't 280. But when the adrenaline's pumping, dude, it don't matter how fat I am, dude. I'm taking off. And that was when I didn't tie my shoes. So my shoes started coming off, and you could see me doing like almost tripping over my shoe on the camera. You could see me like, oh my God, I'm almost falling. And I finally just kicked my shoe off and just take off in my sock and stopped them. And they did have whatever batteries or whatever it was when they did that. But
So did you realize? Did you look on camera how they got away from you? Did they start running?
no, they didn't run. They just like turned around somewhere, and I just didn't catch them turn around.
Wow, dude, LP sounds like such a fun job. I'm not gonna lie.
It was then, and I guess like even almost 20 years ago now, you could say that was still kind of like the Wild West of it, because now I guarantee you, most places just say take the stuff. Like we're not even going to bother stopping you.
Let the cops deal with
Yeah,
it.
like
They
it's
got the
not-
badge. They got the guns and handcuffs.
It's not even worth doing it, you know. So
Damn, I wish I was old enough back then to do some LP. I'd have had some fun tackling some people.
it was a lot of fun.
Okay, so then talk me through there, and like how do you get to where you are now? It's a big journey.
I mean, just working, man. Like I think back then, since I didn't have any kind of degree, and this was all like doing the work thing and coming back or getting told that I'm not going to serve now. Like I went back to school for graphic design, or actually I think at that time there was a bunch of stuff that I tried to do and decided I didn't want to do it. So never really pursued school and actually finished to get a degree of any kind.
Yeah.
So dude, it was just like full-time work, just wherever I could find it, Never in that point in my life, I didn't really have like a solid, career type job where I would stay for a number of years. It was always trying to find a job until I think it was maybe, what is this, 25, so maybe 2012 is when I started working at J&L Motors,
Wow.
which is not there anymore, but dude, that car lot is right beside Everett Chevrolet
Yeah.
on 70.
That used to be another car dealership?
Well, they had the retail lot that's on 70. But then right above it, there's a house with a gate and everything, and that's where the wholesale lot was. So that's where and if you across the street, that has a big open field, which I think is a bit like they do outbuildings.
Yeah, like the sheds.
So
yeah,
right there, and you can see it from 40, kind of right there. There used to be like a building, and used to have a ton of cars back there.
Wholesale is in like trade-ins and like stuff that's like
you would
inexpensive.
You would buy cars at auction, and then you would sell them to other dealers in the area.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
People probably made a killing doing that back in the day.
Before all this online stuff, heck yeah, man, make a killing. And Jerry had been in business for, God, I don't know, 40 years, 50 years, something like that, before they finally shut down. So I was working there for 5 years, and that's where I met my wife. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I met my wife at Fiserv, which is a financial call center here in town.
Yeah.
So we met there. She was dating somebody. I was not dating somebody, but, with a girl that worked there, actually. So, and we kind of connected because we were always like paired together for training stuff when we were training. So we were always paired together doing that. And we just became really good friends, and we would talk about how bad her relationship was or how bad this girl was doing me, because I really wanted a relationship. She didn't want it. She just wanted to mess around, which I should have been okay with, but like I just...
He said, "You want to take advantage of my body? How dare you?"
So, but anyway, so that's how we connected, and then I ended up leaving there. And I can't remember if she was still working there or if she had left as well. But I think after I left Fiserv is when I started working at J&L. And then...
My biggest point of this is how do you get into engineering from all this?
So it's I say engineering. Actually, a friend that I went to high school with married my wife's cousin, so he ended up. I was making boxes, working at International Paper box plant, and he had mentioned this job, or she mentioned it to me. My wife did that. Hey, they're working from home, because I think this was around the time COVID hit, right after COVID hit, or during all that. Then she said, "Hey, they're working from home, making good money, or making around the same as I was making at International Paper."
To be home is legendary.
Like, "Why don't you send your resume?" So I sent it to him. He gave it to who I would later would know that is my bosses now.
That's awesome.
So I had an interview. They hired me. I mean, if you're a computer nerd and you're a gamer, I guess that whatever qualities that brings, other than eating pizza and Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew, like. So they kind of think that you'd be good at the job. So that's how I landed in the job. And
so it's not really like a full engineering
I'm
thing,
not like
but it's more like software based, where like it's similar to like computing. Are you like computing data and stuff like that, or is it more like
it's not really data?
Coding?
I mean, like the easiest way to say it is like we take blueprints and translate what they show us on a blueprint and put that in a spreadsheet.
That okay. I was thinking like you're just like at a computer like entering data.
No. Huh. Well, I mean, technically we are entering data, but I'm not sure
level.
Exactly how much I can say because I know a lot of the stuff's like proprietary.
Oh no, you're good. Listen, I don't want to get you in trouble, and I don't want you. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, it's like data entry, but there is some engineering to it because we've got to know how like cables are made. We've got to know how.
You can literally have to know the ins and outs of the products that you guys have.
Yeah.
Is it one of those jobs where you have to sign like an NDA or something? Or
No.
like a non-compete or whatever?
No,
That's crazy.
But, it is. They do a lot of training on compliance and stuff like that. And, since it is proprietary information that you're dealing with and you're seeing all day, they don't want to let their competitors know how they build cables or like how whatever their proprietary stuff is. They don't want people to know that, which is understandable. So like, I guess I haven't said too much, but I guess the engineering part is knowing how the cables are made and knowing how things work together and so on and so forth. So, yeah.
Let me ask you, because I don't know. I feel like, and I've only known you for a couple months. I think the first time, it's funny. Eric was telling me about. He's like, man, there's this guy you should really meet. Blah blah blah. This is back when you were like, did the podcast in your basement, and which listen, for all intents and purposes. And I joke and I laugh as a creator myself who started, in my bedroom. I mean, with a 7020p webcam, $50 clearance mic. I mean, I've started from the absolute bottom. You started. You executed. You did it. A lot of people will be like, yeah, man, I'm going to do this great thing and blah, 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 blah. No motion. Slow motion is better than no motion. So, you did it. You were doing great. So Eric was telling me about you. And then we ran into each other at the game. That's the first time we met. And it's so funny to see, and I haven't known you that long, to see you doing what you do now at From the Roots Up. I'd love your take on this. I'd actually love to hear someone who's really, really close to you, his take on it. You're so happy. Your passion for Hickory, for soccer, it is unbelievable. Do you ever think you'd be a content creator, especially for something you love so much?
Nah, dude, because I know I joke about this all the time, but dude, look at me. Listen to my voice. No, seriously, listen to my voice. Who is? And I thought about this before we even started. I'm like, I know I'm gonna say this. Who is going to listen and see me and think, why would I listen to this idiot talk about soccer at all? He doesn't sound like. It sounds like somebody from Deliverance. You got a pretty mouth, boy. Ain't nobody gonna listen to this redneck hick from backwoods wherever talk about soccer. But and that was a big thing of why. Maybe not a big thing, but certainly a reason why maybe I hadn't started it. And to your point of you did it. Well, last season I didn't. I met with Eric last year and talked to him about, man, it would be awesome to do a podcast for Hickory FC. And you know what he told me? Just do it. Go for it. Let's see it, Yeah. Before they would get involved with anything, that he was like, let's see what you got.
But and to his point, that's a lot of, because I can only imagine how Eric and everyone in Hickory FC is probably like Mark Cuban and Shark Tank is. Everybody just coming to them with ideas. I'd love for you to give me money.
Yeah.
So for him to be like, hey, do it, and then let's see how it looks, and then we can get on board after. Because the hardest part of doing anything, and I tell this to all content creators right now, the hardest part of anything is to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's so easy to create. I could sit, me and you in 5 minutes could probably come up with 25 things that we can do. If we don't do any of them, guess what? We didn't do anything.
And so the time that me and my wife have been together, she has always said, you come up with all these things that you want to do and you never do it. You never follow through with anything. So now it's okay, I finally found something, that I'm passionate about, that I love to do, I love talking to the players, coaches, other fans. I can't. I know the episode we did with Tommy, we could have gone on for 2 hours, dude.
No. You could have gone on for 2 hours.
Me and Tommy could have gone on for, dude, because it's if there's something that you're talking about that you're passionate about it,
for sure.
You could just go on and talk about all day. So me and Tommy could have just gone on and on and on and on.
I mean, it's like if a WWE wrestler was here. I've been watching WWE since I'm a kid. I'd act the same way you act when Tommy's there, or Harry, or any of the guys we have on. It's just you're so passionate about it. To see the person doing the thing you're passionate about is incredible. And we always say, you're Gavining or whatever. Don't be a Gavin, right?
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. I haven't known you that long, so I'm just trying to give you your flowers. Is really what I'm trying to do. It's just so cool to see how passionate you are, and Max too. Max. You guys are such a good blend. It's actually everything works out perfectly. I know I was kind of the original co-host person, and I'm so glad that I'm more behind the scenes because you and Max just make a perfect combo.
I agree.
And then I obviously bring the production value, but you guys are perfect together. And honestly, I'm going to say this and not be prideful with it because I think it's honest truth. I think me and you would have had fun I think we would have had a great time. I think we would have done great interviews with people. But I don't think with his knowledge of soccer and your passion for it, I just think it's a perfect combination. I don't have the passion as much for soccer as I do for other things, but like I love, the behind the scenes and talking to the players and that stuff. That stuff's cool for me. But I just love that all that. And again, like the same thing, like for me over the summer, my dad passed away. Obviously it was an awful thing that happened, but like if that doesn't happen, like am I co-hosting and does it even get off the ground like it is now? Like you guys have made this, and I can say this without pride and without ill intent. Like I'm happy that I'm not the co-host. Like I am, because it worked out better for you guys. You guys have, he's the part of the 28601. You bring your fandom and your I just think it's a perfect blend. For anyone who hasn't watched From the Roots Up, make sure you go watch the podcast. We're going to talk about it here in a second, but I just think everything happens for a reason. Back to the original point.
Yeah, for sure. And the funny thing about it is I've got a real good buddy, Will McDowell, who is an Arsenal fan, unfortunately.
Hater.
But so we had originally done an episode together where we did like an hour long thing about where we were talking about not only Hickory, but we were talking about world football in general. And dude, it ended up being an hour long. I think maybe longer than an hour. And that was the original plan, was me and Will were going to do this.
Yeah.
And he decided that it was just going to take too much time to do it and really put forth the effort that needed to be put to do it. So okay. And that's really why I stopped last season. I just didn't, all right, well, I'm not going to do it now. And man, the second season, and dude, I'm glad we did the second season. I'm glad I started it.
Are you happy you did not give up?
100%. Because, and it's like when you asked me the advice on like the man on the street thing, I was thinking about it, and you know what? Maybe, now don't get me wrong, like reading the Bible and going to church, that's essential to who I am. But I probably would have included, like, if there's something you want, go for it. Do it. Just do it. And like people would say that to me all the time, and I'd be like, I get it, but like, how do I know you do it. Yeah, I get that, but how do I do it? Like, where do I go? Yeah. And man, if I would not have just, and it actually wasn't in my basement, it was like up against my bathroom door in my, in our bedroom, like, yeah, completely like no budget at all. Like I had my webcam, no mic, like, yeah, just bare bones. But in that, I've got something now. I've got something that I can show, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm talking about. And the thing is, like, I didn't know what doors it would open. Like, I didn't know that Eric would introduce me to you. You would be doing this. Max would jump on board and be like, yeah, let's do it. It's awesome. So, yeah, everything happens for a reason. And the podcast, while, okay, I might have had the idea for it, but, like, it's all of us involved together. It wouldn't be what it is without Max. It wouldn't be what it is without you, without Chris, without Jeremy, without Jay,
without you.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, yes, I just create. But it is obviously is bigger than you, because I feel like the following of the fandom is there. But like, you spearheaded it. You know what I'm saying? I think as men, we just don't give ourselves enough credit, right? You can do all the things right, but we always focus on the one thing we did wrong. Yeah. And I think everything with this story specifically was all about timing. I mean, if we don't meet, if Eric doesn't make the introduction, if Max doesn't agree to come on, like if these things don't happen chronologically how they did, I don't think From the Roots Up is a podcast right now, in all actuality. But like, it happened, so Eric was like, "Do it." You did it. You maybe didn't like it and you didn't like the quality, but you kept at it. And then you're like, okay, like, how can we do this? And then Eric made a suggestion, and then I came along, and then I kind of fell off the map, and then I came back and I brought production, and then you met Max in the meantime. Everything just worked out like it was like a perfect storm, like a nor'easter. I don't know if you know, like when the two storms collide to make one big storm. It was literally a perfect storm.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Everything happened for a reason. It certainly was a a downer over the summer with your dad, and everything, and I didn't want to push anything for this podcast, because this podcast doesn't mean anything compared to a family member.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that. Which was honestly, like, I think my favorite part of wanting to work with you is when I was going through all that, You were checking in, you were making sure. But like when I told you, hey, I don't think I can do that right now. Like you weren't like an asshole about it. Like you could have very well like, dude, we've been talking about this, blah 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 blah. But like again, like it was too much for me at the time to like host it. I could be behind the scenes, but I just over the summer I was not social like I am now. I kind of had no battery for it. And then you met Max, and Max was like the perfect person. And really, I want to kind of jump into Max. Like that chemistry you guys have is special. I mean, you guys bring such great perspectives. Him being a huge minor league sports fan, you having a passion for Hickory FC, him being in this community, like I know the first couple episodes were rough because you guys were figuring it out, but I feel like now you guys have it. How has it been working with a partner like Max?
Oh, I mean, like it's honestly, it's been like that's. I feel like, I mean, yes, everything, all the people involved that have allowed us space, you with production, Chris, all that stuff, everything makes it.
Yeah.
But working with Max has been like that brings the personality to it. I feel like, and it's been honestly. I mean, I feel like that's what really makes the podcast itself, because like I feel like he might be more kind of like the technical side of it, where especially with him being a doctor, like he's got like a more technical. I feel like, and he may agree, he might disagree, but he's got more of like a technical kind of personality or brain. Yeah. Mine doesn't work like that. Like it's more just like just like I'm the hype guy. Like
you are the color commentator.
So like
go!
Yeah. So I think it meshes together
100%.
Very well. And dude, Max does the outlines. I'll go ahead and tell you this. Max does all of our outlines. I am so thankful for that. Beyond thankful for that, because I could not come up with all of the questions that he does, on my own. There's no way I could. Like I've tried to come up, like when he's been busy, working and all that stuff, being a doctor again.
How dare you be a doctor?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we found out who's funding the podcast now.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Dr. Ferrari.
Yeah. His last name is really Ferrari.
It's not just because it's the sports car he drives.
No.
I love you, Max.
Yeah, dude. Without that and the the what do you call it? The chemistry. Without the I don't think it happens without that. Or it becomes like a just monotone, just kind of like, well, I'm not really interested in watching that, but like with his knowledge and enthusiasm for minor league sports, and just with my passion for football and honestly, fangirling when I see the players, because it legit awesome. Is like seeing,
Ronaldo.
Obviously, it's not Messi and Ronaldo, but it's still like, dude, it's still
it's Hickory's version.
Dude, and it's just like meeting heroes, man. And
I know we joke about it, and it's something, gavining and being a Gavin, but it's like it's so like you're so authentic. Like that's my favorite thing about you, is that you're just so authentic. And like for anyone who doesn't know you, I feel like from the outside looking in, maybe they seem, you're extra, you're loud, you're this, you're that. You're a passionate fan. And that's what makes it so much fun, because like you hear him in the commentary booth and you think, this commentator's just getting really excited. That's fucking Gavin in real life. I just want you to know that. I love it. You're just so authentic to like loving the game, loving the players. And honestly, like Hickory FC is something this community has needed. Yeah. There's great entertainment opportunities. I mean, there's even another great sports team, multiple sports teams out here. But like, I think soccer is such an not developed, because obviously there's a lot going on, like with CVYSA, all these different organizations. But like at that level, I really don't think, and I had Jonathan on earlier, I don't really think people, like no one was really expecting it to be as crazy as it is. So like for you, how awesome is it to have Hickory FC in this community?
I mean, I think we've talked about it a couple of times, like just in our man on the street type interview. I mean, it's, dude, having a team that is ours. And I know it's owned. You know, there's an ownership group. I know that. But, like, this is a club that, I mean, belongs to the fans, you know. Like, this is our hometown club that we can get behind, we can support. You talk about me, like, meeting the players and stuff like that. I mean, this is like, you know, showing support to the players, showing support to the coaches, showing support to the ownership. Like, it's I mean, everything's probably like an overused way to say things, but like when you consider European clubs, South American clubs, you know, have been around 100+ years, so they've had like multiple generations of families involved and like season ticket holders. And my dad took me here. I was there with my dad and my granddad. Like, we have a club now where, I hope I don't get emotional saying this, but like, I can take my son and my daughter to the games, and they can grow up watching Hickory FC now. We have a club, a hometown club, that I can do that with. Maybe one day my son, my daughter, they say, you know what? I remember when my dad took me. Now I can take my kids. That's what it means to me. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because it's, dude, stop.
I love this.
I mean, it is, and it's to get that way over sports, but like when you involve your children in it, that's everything. That's everything. So I don't mean to get emotional doing that, but
no, you're good, man.
no, but that's what it means to me is like, I've got something my kids can grow up going with me and my wife and my parents and my wife's parents. Like, it's a family thing that we can be involved in, you know, and they can grow up just watching and, you know, getting to meet players and all that sort of thing. Dude, it's why I love the sport. That's why I love it.
Look at you getting all the money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll have to cut that out.
Yeah. You wussy. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Let's go. No, it's awesome. I mean, like, you know, I was a Mets fan growing up because of my dad. And, you know, we'd go to baseball games. And that was like a thing we did. Also watch Friday Night SmackDown with him because that was like one of the nights he didn't work because he worked nights, you know, and doing his own business. So like those are two things that I love sports because of my dad. I love wrestling because of my dad. Like he put me into that kind of stuff. And like as a parent, you just don't realize how much impact you have on your kids. Like, you know, after my dad passed, unfortunately, like I learned so much about him, like through family, through friends, like people reminiscent of, dude, your dad back in the day was loud and crazy. And like my dad, like me knowing him, he was reserved, more quiet guy. You know, he would hang out and bullshit and chop it up with his clients, but like he wasn't like a super social guy. Come to find out, he was the fucking life of the party. I'm like, I wonder where I got this fucking personality from. Like my mom was like that, but like I didn't think it was from her. Yeah. And you know, it's just like, you know, I'm like my dad a lot, and like you even talking about bringing your kids to, and I told Jonathan this too. Like it felt when I went to the I don't know if it was App or whatever game I went to. Like, it feels like a big-ass watch party. It's really what it feels like. You know, I'm you know, they score the goal, you're high-fiving the person next to you. You might not even know them, fist bumping. You know, you're seeing people through the crowd. People are saying hi to you. Like, people are so nice. It's literally like a big watch party, and that's what makes it so special. So my next question to you is, for From the Roots Up, like, what's next? Like, what do you want people to know about From the Roots Up and why they should listen to it?
I mean, I think you said it a little bit ago with the passion and the knowledge that Max brings. I mean, if you're a Hickory FC fan, why would you not want to watch talking to players, coaches, other fans of, like, especially players and coaches and maybe the ownership? Yeah. Because you might get like a little behind the scenes information that you wouldn't have known otherwise.
No, for sure.
You know, it's great talking to the players and seeing how things are that you might not see in, you know, when they post on social media. Hickory does. Mm-hmm. You know, just little things that you wouldn't know otherwise. I mean, I know the episode's not out yet, but Harry talking about them cooking. You know, you wouldn't know about that. Yeah. Unless you watch the episode, which it comes out Friday. So make sure you watch it. Well,
by the time this comes out, it's probably been 2 months since the episode's been posted.
But anyway, I forgot about that. So
no, you're all good.
But my point is that you wouldn't know these things. You get to know what the whole thing I wanted to do the idea I had was I want people to get to know players and coaches.
Yeah.
I want people to get to know them. And that's the thing.
Behind the scenes.
You get to know the players. Because one thing that gets me when I'm in the stands, or was in the stands, is...
Because now he's commentating.
Hey! Good evening, Between the Bricks.
Good evening, and welcome back to Hickory FC. My name is Gavin Miller, and today we're going to scream.
Yeah. No, it gets me when people just say, good job, number 25, or number whatever. Like, no. I want to make it a point to know their names, because I want to make it personal. I want them to know that I took the time to know their name so that I care about them. I care about supporting them. And that's what it is. Like I just want people to know who the players are so they can it makes it more personal when you can cheer on a player that you feel like you know.
Winning a national championship year 2. Do you feel like it puts even more pressure on them to win back to back? Or does it put more pressure on them to just get it? Like, what do you feel like the expectations are for this season? Because you're coming off of a championship. Is it back to back or bust? Like, what is your thoughts?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, I don't know that, and you'd have to ask Eric, Jonathan, all the guys that started this thing. I'm sure they didn't expect to win a national championship in the second year.
No.
So personally, I feel like that. I mean, if you're trying to build a dynasty, then probably it's championship or whatever or nothing. But man, I think it's just continue building on the fan base, building relationships out in the community. Like, dude. Like from year 1 to 2, the amount of sponsors that they gained, and who knows what that's going to look like in year 3.
Yeah.
I mean, just continue to grow from the roots up. That's right. Official podcast of Hickory FC.
Take that, Eric. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Eric. Jonathan, Tom, everybody.
Just continue to build on the relationships, continue to build on the fan base. Man, hopefully season 3 we break 10,000 people in the stadium.
So, okay, funny enough, I had Jonathan on earlier. That podcast probably is already out too. Only 7,500 is the max that you could have there. Like that's like the capacity. Okay. That's a quote unquote sellout in that stadium. Okay. And honestly, if we're getting real honest here, that's fucking possible.
100%.
Okay, 100%. Real quick. Were you at the game of 62?
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding?
You're darn tootin'.
Yeah.
What was that energy like? What was that atmosphere like? And then after this, I only got one more question.
Well, the first half was insane because they went up 2-0. I'm pretty sure that was the Risto. No, I don't think it was Ristosi. I think it was. That was Lubbock. No. That was the last game before they went to. So it was Ristosi.
It was Ristosi. It was the last game they went to before they went to.
The final, yeah.
Thou who shall not be named.
Yeah. Dude, it was nuts. Like, going up 2-0, first half was like, man, we're good. And then, as teams usually do, they come back.
Yeah.
And, man, going up, Tommy, again, scoring his winners as he's done this year, man, it was nuts to see. It was nuts to see, man, we're going to a final. We're going, and the fans matched it. I mean, going nuts, really, really supporting the guys. The atmosphere at Moretz on a home night is, I would put it up there with anybody else in the country. And I mean, most places aren't getting 6,200 fans. I mean, good Lord, I think Port City said the most they had last season was 150. So I mean, dude, we're at Hickory's absolutely blowing it out of the water and showing up for them. So next year, 7,500, Dude, it'll be standing room only next year.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So last question, and then we have like a final question we ask everybody. We got to talk about the goal. The goal. I mean, you know what goal I'm talking about. If you don't, you live under a rock. Patrick Starr. Does it like? It has some type of nostalgia to it, and it's only been a couple months.
Well, of course it does. I mean, it's like that's a, to me as a fan, like that's a where were you when that happened, you know? Because I think we said it earlier, like who knows what happens if you go to penalties, you might not make it. So, dude, like that goal at that time with who was involved in it, I mean, that's what you'd watch on Disney or something like that. That would be a story of like coming from adversity, and Diego did, like coming off of a really long injury to hitting the assist. Like, I mean, that's what a movie is based on, and I keep watching it back just to relive that moment, and just like, yeah, we're talking about, okay, going to penalties. And then Curtis says, well, we'll see what happens as Diego is passing. I don't know. I don't even know if he's passing to Tommy.
So the coolest thing, and I love being behind the scenes of From the Roots Up, talking to the players. And I mean, they mentioned it. I don't want to give too much away if they haven't seen the episode, but all three of the people involved were subs. We're talking about the same goal, right?
We're talking about the final.
Oh,
you're talking about the final.
I thought he was saying for that goal too.
No.
I thought he said that goal.
No, for the final.
The final win.
Yeah. So Lucho.
Okay.
Lucho.
My fault. I messed that one up.
Lucho, Harry, and Tommy were all second half subs.
You guys were talking about so many moments that I 100% got lost. My bad. No. So yeah. So there was Rostozzi that.
The goal is the app.
App State. I'm not Aristozzi. App State. The app goal was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was sitting baseline, or whatever y'all call it, sideline. Like, the net is in front of me.
Yeah.
And my friend who was with me, and my wife was with me, his wife was there. And I'm like, dude, it's going to kicks. I've always wanted to see a live soccer game go to kicks. I've only ever I've never seen it in person. I've only ever watched it on TV and of course FIFA. But I've never seen it in person, and I was lit because it's like hockey. I love shootouts. I think shootouts are the coolest thing in hockey. And I'm like, dude, I'm hitting him. I'm like, dude, this is going to kick. And then all of a sudden he starts to crouch down, and he's like, we got a minute left. This is ending right here, and 30 or 2 minutes left, whatever. And on their they were going down the field with the ball. And once Hickory got possession, he starts crouching. He goes, oh, we're doing something. And then he scored the goal. And he literally threw his popcorn in the air. And he was like, I told you. I said, get out. You knew that was going to happen. Get out of here with that.
Well, I mean, that's what that moment does, man. And that right there is why we love the game. Because, man, it looks like it's such a tough game. I mean, all three app games were tough. 1-0 victories. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long game. It's going to be a hard-fought game, and, we're thinking, God, man, no time left, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. And, man, are we going to have a chance? And, dude, from the sequence, from Charlie to Ronan to Diego to Tommy, dude, it's I don't know, it's just one of those moments that you really just cannot put into words being there and seeing it, And then seeing the crowd go absolutely insane, see Tommy run up to Carlos and, what he told us. If you haven't seen the episode, he talks about it, promising Carlos a goal. That be the goal? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So
I think whatever happens, I think next year Hickory FC needs a documentary. They just need one guy or a couple cameras documenting the entire thing.
I'll do it.
Oh, you would narrate it?
Yeah, I'd have to do my yes. And this is Hickory FC, all or nothing for Amazon Prime.
This is all access with Hickory FC.
Yeah,
brought to you.
That would be cool.
By
That
Amazon
really
Prime.
would be cool.
I have to mention it next time I see Jonathan. So before the last question that we ask everybody, shout out your social media. How can people find y'all? And really just want to say thank you for your time today.
Yeah, man. I know we had to reschedule, and I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we could talk about the podcast, properly. I've enjoyed doing it with you. I've enjoyed you being. I mean, we can't thank you enough for offering your services to do the production, man. Because like the first one me and Max did, dude, we were sitting there holding the mic in our hands, like, come on, man, So you've really helped us.
I saw that and I was like, man, let me help this charity case out. No.
But yeah, so the podcast is From the Roots Up Pod on Instagram, From the Roots Up Podcast, I think, on Facebook. And then your YouTube channel.
And then you can find video exclusively on our Lifting Love Network, which is here on Lifting Love Reacts. Hopefully by the time this is up, it will finally be the Lifting Love Network, but it's the Lifting Love Network, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's where we are. I think Max's Instagram is mferrari11. Mine is HFC Ultra. But, we post all the stuff on the podcast Instagram, really. But, yeah, man, we're posting reels of episodes, probably maybe twice a week, something like that, maybe more now since we've gone to every other week. But yeah, give us a look, man. Watch the episodes because there's a lot of good content. We've got some LR stuff, men and women both, on there, and we're trying to get some more. So yeah, just give us a look.
All things soccer. So if you're a big soccer fan, make sure you go check out From the Roots Up. The last question. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up. There we go. A little podcast plug. Get the merch today. No.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'd be cool.
That'd be sick. A little merch store. Yeah. Okay. Last question we ask everybody. Actually, I've already asked you this, but I think you want to change your answer. So, for anyone watching, what's the best piece of life advice you can give them?
Yeah, I would. If you're wanting to do something, I got a friend that wants to start a podcast too. She lives in Pennsylvania. I used to work with her. And after we started this, she was just telling like, man, I'm so proud of you for doing it. And I said, hey, you want to do one, go for it. Just do it. Just start. Just like Eric told me. Like, just start. Just start. And that's what I would say. Like, if there is something you want to get, and if it takes, doing something to, like, an action, I guess, to get it, just do it. Like, I would have never thought that I would have met the people that I've met. It would have opened the doors that it's opened if I had never started this or had the idea to start it. I don't want to say that I started it because me, Max, you, I mean, we've all started it. So, but I would have never met you guys probably, or to the degree that we're involved, if I just didn't start and do those 2 episodes in my room. So I say that's a long-winded answer to say, like, if you want something, just do it. Just go for it. Just take the risk and go for it.
I love that. Again, thank you so much for your time. Make sure you go follow From the Roots Up. Also, make sure you go follow our sponsor, Lake Hickory Pub Marina, because that's where lake and life meet. And hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening to the Lifting Love podcast. But most importantly, guys, live love, crush hate. Till next time, we out.